Welcome. As you can see from the main page of Europe Code Week, there is little more than 1 month left to the beginning of Europe Code Week 2016 that will take place from the 15th to the 23rd of October 2016. Today, I'd like to show you how to get involved in Europe Code Week with the entire school, taking part in the so-called CodeWeek4all challenge. So this is the main page of the initiative, which is codeweek.eu/codeweek4all, where you can find the main information and links that you need in order to start involving your schools. So let me first show you this page and then how to take the 2 steps required to really take part in this challenge. So the main purpose of this challenge is to contribute to increase the penetration of coding in schools. And the idea is to try to engage schools in involving as many pupils as possible. And the idea of the challenge is as follows. In the first step, a school has to be registered for free in order to get a unique code that then can then be associated to all the events organized within the school during Code Week. So in this way, using this specific unique code, we will, as Code Week ambassador, we will be able to sum up the number of participants in all the events organized within your school as reported by the event organizers after Code Week. And we will then compare this number, which is the sum of all the participants, to the number of all pupils enrolled in your school. The comparison will provide us a mean for double checking whether or not the number of pupils involved in Europe Code Week will be greater than 50% of all the pupils enrolled. So the main purpose and the ideal situation would be reaching 100%, which means involving all your students. But if you manage to involve at least 50% of your students, you will be then awarded an excellent certificate in coding literacy that will be issued by the European Commission and signed by Vice President Ansip. So let me show you how to proceed. So starting from this page, the first thing that you can do is just to follow this link, apply now, or this one, which is exactly the same, to start registering your school. So let me show you how the form, the online form looks like. So to put in school, so I'm working at the University of Urbino. So for instance, I can use as the name of the school of Urbino, in which case students enrolled in the university, which are more or less 15,000. Or I can restrict the scope to just program, for instance, the degree program in applied computer science, which is in Italian corso di laurea in informatica applicata. Then I have to select the school level, university. So notice that in this case, I'm restricting the scope just because I cannot register the entire university because I'm not in charge of doing something also for other degree programs, while I can try to engage my colleagues in order to possibly engage all the students enrolled in our degree program. So in this case, the number of students will be 300 rather than 15,000. So the same can be done within a school. If you have a school, for instance, covering more school levels, you can decide to do separate registrations for primary school, for middle school, and so on. And in this way, each of them will take part in the challenge independently, meaning that primary school can win while middle school could fail. Or if both of them, as I hope, will win, this means that two excellence certificates will be awarded afterwards. Okay, so then I'm also asked to insert my email account, which is, in my case, this one. And then also the mailing address. So the email account is very, very important, because at this email address, I will receive, upon completion and submission of this form, I will receive the unique code that is then to be associated to all the events organized within the school, in this case, my degree program. The mailing address is the one that will be used to ship the excellence certificate after Code Week. So this is important as well. And in my case, this is Piazza della Repubblica 13, which is the street address. Then the city is Urbino. Province is called PU, which stands for Pesaro Urbino. Zip code in Italian, this is called Codice di avviamento postale, is this one. The country is Italy. Here we are. Then this is a disclaimer, and I have to put my name here. And that's it. So now that the form has been properly submitted, this is the email is automatically sent to the email address specified in the form. And as you can see, there is here a unique code. This is the code that has to be associated to all the events organized within your organization, your school, or your school level, or, as in my case, my degree program. Then I have to add events. Events can be added not just by the person who registered at the school, but by all the colleagues contributing to organizing events within the school. So, for instance, in this case, just by following this link, you will reach this page, which is the map of CodeWeek events. And as you can see, there are already some events scheduled for CodeWeek. And what you have to do is, first of all, sign in or log in into this website in order to be allowed to add an event. You can use as a login for authentication any social account, so your Facebook or Google account or Twitter account, and then you will be allowed to add an event. Add an event is just a matter of filling in a form, an online form, and this isn't a process a procedure that has to be followed not just by you, but also by all your colleagues willing to organize events within your school. So you have to choose an event title. So in my case, for instance, Codirobi a Urbino, which is in Urbino. Notice that I'm writing this in Italian, and I suggest you to fill in this form in your own language, just because the target is not the European Commission, but are the potential participants. So all people living in your country, possibly interested in your events. In this case, for instance, parents or your pupils could be interested in reading the specification, the description of the event. So please don't put any language barrier and try to use your own language. So the organizer is the name of the person who is filling in this form or is taking care of organizing the events. So in my case, is my name, but for other events, there could be something different. Notice that if the same type of events will be organized and conducted by different people, by different teachers, for instance, in different classrooms, then I strongly recommend to use not exactly the same title, but for instance, saying Cody Roby a Urbino, first year, which in Italian is primo anno. In this way, I specify that this is the event targeting first-year students. Then there could be another one targeting second-year students, or otherwise you can even specify the name of the classroom. This is very useful in order not to risk your event to be rejected just because it appears as a duplication. So specifying in the title that the target is different, make the event look different, even if the event is exactly the same, replicated in different classrooms. So then I have to put here a description. So I can say here, unplugged activities with Cody Roby, which in Italian is attività senza computer con Cody Roby. Then I have to select the target audience. As you can see, you can choose more than one, or those that apply. Then I select unplugged activities. I already have my email address pre-filled in this field, but in case the email address is not pre-filled, you have to put a valid email address here, because this is the email address at which you will be contacted by the CodeWeek ambassadors and by the system in case you need to manage your event. Then you have to select a place, and you can write here the name of the place, and as you can see, as you put something here, then a pin appears, and then you can move the pin, you can zoom in the map in order to be more precise, and the address changes accordingly. Then you have to select a date, like for instance, as you know, CodeWeek goes from the 15th to the 23rd, so I can select any date within this range, or even if those dates are not suitable for your school, you can select another date, because CodeWeek is not just limited to that particular period of the year. It's just trying to create a higher concentration of events in that specific period, but any event is more than welcome. So for instance, I can choose the 20th. And then I have also to select a time and possibly specify the ending time. Then I can add a website. This is not mandatory, as you can see, and also a public contact. In my case, this is the same email address, but this email address will be published on the page of the event. Then I can add tags, like for instance, a tag for the university, a tag for the city, a tag for the tool that I will use, and whatever applies, even the name of a partner, of a sponsor in case of sponsorship. And notice that the most important thing that I have to do is now to make this event appear as an event organized within my school. And to this purpose, I have to go back to the email that I received, copy this code, and paste it in the description of the event. So there are no specific fields where to put this code. So you have to add it to the description in any place. So even if the description goes on, you can put the code in the middle of the description and it will be recognized in any case. We can also add an image. This is not mandatory, but can be done. Here it is. And that's it. Now we have an event. And at this point, the event is still pending, meaning that it does not appear yet on the map because it has to be approved by a moderator. Moderators are the so-called CodeWeek ambassadors, and there are CodeWeek ambassadors in your country taking care of approving the events organized within your country. But even before approval, the page of the event is already there, and the link can already be used to, for instance, add the event to the web page of your school, or just distribute to the parents of your pupils or your pupils the link in order to make them aware of the event that will happen in your school. Then, after Code Week, all the event organizers will be contacted at the contact email and asked to report their events. Reporting the events means stating the number of pupils or audience really taking part in the events. And this will bring to two main effects. The first effect is that all the event organizers reporting their events will be awarded a certificate of recognition that can be then downloaded as a PDF. This is a certificate with the logo of the European Commission and the logo of CodeWeek, signed by CodeWeek ambassadors. Then all the numbers are reported will be summed up, as I explained, and compared with the overall number of pupils enrolled in your school as declared when you registered your school. And if the number of participants is more than 50% of the number of pupils enrolled, then the certificate, the excellence certificate, will be issued for your school and shipped to your school at the mailing address specified in the form. So that's it. I really hope that you will follow these fairly simple instructions and you will succeed in being awarded with an excellence certificate issued by the European Commission for your great contribution to Europe Code Week 2016. Thank you very much for your attention.